One of the biggest things that frustrates me about people who get involved in some sort of business, whether they go into sales for themselves and they're a straight commission person, or they just start their own business of any kind, is that people, in many cases, fail out of the business. But one of the things that bothers me the most is that most people don't fail the right way. Because if you're going to fail, you need to fail the right way. And I'll explain how I mean in just a moment. My name is David Duford. I am the owner of davidduford.com, where I take insurance people and turn them into top producing insurance professionals. And on this YouTube channel, where I help agents and salespeople like sell more of whatever it is they're selling, insurance or otherwise. Again, the topic of today's video is to teach you how to get yourself to a position where if you're going to fail, you're going to fail out the right way. So the implication of this is that there is a right way to fail and a wrong way to fail. And what I'm going to talk about in this video is the wrong way first, and then basically by just discussion, discuss what the right way to fail is and why really, if you intend on failing, if you're going to fail the right way, how it, in a sense, eliminates the chances of failure at a much higher rate than if you were to do otherwise. So what is the wrong way to fail as you get started in the insurance business or any kind of business in general? Well, the wrong way to fail is to not exhaust yourself of the best opportunities to succeed in the business you're in. So take, for example, the insurance business that I'm in. There are predefined ways that have been thoroughly vetted by thousands, if not more, agents across the country over decades of time of sales and marketing systems that are proven to work. And there's not just one of them, but there's many. And what you need to do as an insurance agent is find that one system that matches your value system, that matches your goals and what level of investment that you have to put into it, and then go all in. The problem is there is a subsection of new agents who really lack personal self-esteem, maybe have a lack of faith in the process, and just don't trust for whatever reason. And they feel it necessary to take a system that's proven to work and change it and alter it. Usually it has to relate to the lead generation side. And what many of them find out through the process of messing with the system is that they fail out. And the sad thing is they fail out the wrong way. I can give you the perfect example because I am a testament of this story. Early on in my career, I had really good success getting in the final expense. I did what I was told. I bought into the lead system. I sold the way I was instructed to. But around the 12-month mark, I started to think, well, this lead system, it works, but I can make it better. I've got an idea that nobody else has tried, and I'm going to put it into action and wait and see. You'll see I'll make a lot more money out of it because I have a sense of a creative side and I like marketing. Well, that was the death bane for me, at least early on, temporarily. That started a process of failure, self-doubt, eventually, which catapulted into frustration and anger, and I quit the business of selling insurance. Of course, luckily, I can look back now and say this, working for the man and earning a wage, taking answers from a boss that I didn't respect for a company that I thought sucked, helped me really realize the importance of being completely committed to a process. And so after a year of doing that, I got back into selling final expense insurance, have been here ever since successfully and growing more each and every year, thankfully. But I learned the lesson at that point that at that point in time, I had failed out in a way that I didn't give myself the full-fledged commitment that I should have. I got away from what worked and decided to experiment. I decided to get away from the fundamentals. And whether you do martial arts, sports, or some other business, there's always fundamentals that you have to do and you have to follow. And what's ironic about it is it's very hard for some people, not everybody, but for some people to just follow what they're told. A lot of people who are business people, I think this is a good explanation. A lot of people who get attracted into entrepreneurship, myself included, have a sense of disdain towards assumed authority. We want to have control over our lives, and we want to determine the direction we go. And that includes all aspects of the business. The problem is there's a yin and a yang to it. My recollection is that when I got involved in this business, that this was already tried. This process of experimentation and tweaking was already done. And the system I was using at the time I was successful when I first started was the outcome of decades of trial and error. And I had flippantly set it aside and decided that it just wasn't good enough when I should have respected what I didn't know, because you don't know what you don't know. And that's kind of the lesson here. And assume to just do it, because there is a process of time that being committed to something, you eventually learn why things are done a certain way. There's a tradition, and unfortunately it's not explained to you well, because some people just do it and they know how to do it, but they don't understand why it's done. But now I've had all this time in the business, I can now explain to somebody, hey, look, here's why we do it this way. It works, but that's not enough. And here's an understanding of why it does work. And I think it's important for some people to understand why. For me, it was very important. And I lacked that, and I tried to fill in the void, and I learned through screwing up why something works and why you shouldn't mess with something and get too creative. Creativity has a side to it that can be detrimental in some businesses like insurance. So I say all this because at the end of the day, the conclusion is the right way to fail is to go out guns a-blazing, completely committed to a particular system that has all of the odds set up in your favor from the beginning. And then if you fail out because you don't like the market, because the market just wasn't there, that everything you did was done accordingly as it should, but you still failed, at least you can have the self-respect. At least you can have the experience that you gave it everything that you could, and that there's no what ifs. Maybe there's some what ifs, but there's not any what ifs like, man, what if I didn't do that one stupid ass campaign for marketing that cost me $5,000 or $10,000, not just in lost money, but in lost opportunity costs. I could have been selling more people instead of screwing around with all this other stuff. That's not how you want to fail. You want to go out in a blaze of glory, and that if you have to leave this business, at least you did everything. You literally exhausted everything. But here is the moral of the story. Everybody who's successful, everybody who's been through difficulties, everybody who has completely committed themselves to a process and never gave up, they were completely committed, you'll find that the likelihood of them failing is very low. That's what's ironic about it. If you just completely commit yourself to the process that's been laid before you, especially in the insurance business where many sales and marketing systems exist, if you just did what you were told and you followed the system like you should have, boy, it reduces the failure rate tremendously. And you find a lot more of the time you actually will succeed than fail out. And so the moral of the story here, A, is don't tweak what works. And B, if you don't tweak what works, you'll find it works. It probably will work for you. And you'll probably ultimately get to the end of the day to where you're successful in the business. You're a top 10% income earner across the nation. You've got total freedom in your business, selling insurance to people you want to on your terms. A level of freedom that so few people ever achieve in their careers. You actually have it because you deferred your ego and you did what you were told. You're a good soldier and you put the system into action and you execute it. That's what your focus should be on, not messing with the system. Take it from me. I would know. My name is David Duford. If you haven't checked out my books, you can see them on the bookshelf behind me. I've got 2 for sale. One's called Interviews with Top Producing Insurance Agents. The other is The Official Guide to Selling Final Expense Insurance. I sell both on Amazon. If you like a soft copy or paperback version of the book, you can also buy ebooks. You can go to my website. It's davidduford.com. Look for the links in the menu for each book and purchase the one that you prefer. Final expense, if you're interested in that, the official guide is perfect for that. It gives you the A to Z lead generation and sales system that I teach my agents personally. And then the interviews with top producing insurance agents is great if you need motivation. If you need to see what it's like from the top of the game of selling insurance with a variety of different insurance backgrounds, Medicare supplement sales, telesales, final expense, disability, agency, recruitment. There's a lot of great interviews I did with agents out there. And you can definitely take a look at what the top producers do and learn a ton from it. If you like this video, please like it, thumbs it up, subscribe if you haven't, and I welcome your comments below if there's anything I can clarify or help you with. My name is David Duford at davidduford.com, where we help insurance agents like you become top producers. Hope you enjoy this video. Take care.